So far, we have only seen predefined widgets such as floating action button to have the ability to be pressed or tapped. But what if we want to make any other widget tappable? In this lesson, we'll try to navigate to the details page of a bookmark by tapping on a bookmark. Hence, we start off in the bookmark list item widget class. We can wrap our list item with a gesture detector widget provided by Flutter. As the name suggests, this widget can detect various gestures such as a tap, a long press, or a dragging event, among others. For our use case, we'll use the onTap parameter, which takes in a function. This method should navigate the user from the bookmarks page to a new page that we'll create later. For now, to test that the navigation works on the tap gesture, reuse the on-pressed navigation that we implemented in the last lesson. On doing so, we see that every list item in the list is now tappable, and on tapping, the user is navigated to the desired page. The gesture detector's on-tap method does not provide any visual feedback to the user for the tap. This is achieved using the InkWell widget. The InkWell widget is a helper widget that can handle a few but not all gestures handled by the gesture detector. But among other things, it provides visual feedback to the user in the form of a splash effect using the splash color when tapped. Hence, now when we tap on an item in the list, we see a grayish splash on the list item. To visualize this better, let's comment the navigation statements. We have seen this splash effect earlier with the floating action button. When we dive into the implementation of the floating action button widget and follow the onPressed argument, we see that the floating action button uses a raw material button which then uses an inkwell inside it, which explains where the splash color comes from. Next, let's create a new page called View Bookmark Page that would display the content of the bookmark using its link, and this page is what the user would navigate to once they tap on a bookmark in the bookmarks list. Since we would need an app bar here as well, we can copy the add bookmark page code and use it here after making some changes. But creating a new page with an app bar is such a common thing to do, it would be a lot better if we create a live template out of this. Hence, navigate to the live template section in the preferences of IntelliJ. Clone the stateless widget template and name this clone template as stateless with app bar with a suitable description. Next, paste the copied code from the add bookmark page, remove the import statement, and convert all hard-coded names and text into generic ones. We can now use this template in our newly created Dart file after providing the corresponding name to the widget and the title to the app bar. Don't forget to change the widget returned for this navigation. On hot reloading the app, we now see that tapping a list item takes the user to this newly created View Bookmark page. As our code expands, we would keep writing more and more navigation statements that take up multiple lines of code. Hence, to make this more concise, we can create a new class called NavigationUtil inside the utility package that holds all our navigation statements in the form of methods. Let's migrate these navigation statements to a new method called navigate to view bookmark page. Notice how we can declare top level functions in Dart, which means that functions can be defined without having a class to wrap them in. This behavior in Dart is unlike Java, but similar to the one in JavaScript. Doing so makes our code a lot easier to read and interpret. Since this is a single line method now, we can convert it to an expression. Next, we repeat the same process for the code responsible for navigating to the Add Bookmark page. You can choose to remove the inferred types here, such as build context. Don't forget to import the method from the navigation util file. Finally, test that the app still has the desired behavior.